Hello kids! Do you know why do bears have such thick fur? Let's follow the adventures of Bear Misha and find out together. In a deep forest, nestled in a small valley beneath snowy mountain peaks, lived a bear named Misha. Winter was approaching, so Misha decided it was time to prepare for his long winter nap. But he had so many things to do and so many questions on his mind that he just couldn't get comfortable.
What all must I do before winter comes so I can finally snuggle into my den?
Misha wondered aloud. Bears, dear children, have a few tricks to help them stay cozy all winter. One day, Misha decided to take a last trip to the forest creek to drink his fill before hibernating. When he got there, a cold wind blew through, making Misha shiver.
Brr, it's so cold,
he murmured, his fur rippling from the chill. Just then, he heard a voice. It was Hedgehog Joe, gathering leaves along the creek's edge to bundle up for his own winter hibernation.
Joe, aren't you cold?
Misha asked, curious. Joe smiled.
Oh no, Misha, I know how to snuggle into leaves and sleep all winter long. But you know what would help you? Your thick fur coat. It protects you from the wind and frost, so make sure you fluff it up nicely.
So, Misha fluffed up his fur and felt warmer right away.
Thanks, Joe. So my fur keeps me warm, like a blanket,
he said cheerfully, and continued on his way. On his way home, Misha met Owl Oli, who was just heading out for her nightly hunt.
Misha, why aren't you asleep yet? You should be snuggled up by now,
hooted Oli.
But Oli, I'm not quite ready to sleep. I'm still figuring out why my fur is so thick and what else I need to prepare for winter.
Misha replied.
You see, Misha, I don't have fur, but my feathers keep me warm in winter, just like your fur does for you. When I get cold, I fluff up my feathers and they trap in the warmth. It's the same with your fur. It holds heat close to you so you don't freeze,
Oli explained. Misha nodded.
That makes sense. So my fur isn't just for looks.
He chuckled and continued on his way, now with more respect for his thick coat. Misha decided to climb his favorite mountaintop one last time before finally going to sleep. When he reached the top, he enjoyed the beautiful view, but felt an icy wind nipping at his nose. As he stood there, an old wise deer named Denny appeared beside him.
What are you doing here, Misha?
Denny asked.
It's winter, and you don't want to catch a cold.
I just wanted to take one last look before going to sleep.
Misha confessed.
And I've been thinking about how much my fur protects me. But is there anything else that helps me survive winter?
The deer nodded.
You're right, Misha. Your coat keeps you warm, and it also lets you survive even the harshest frosts. And while you sleep, your fur will keep you toasty, even if it snows and the cold wind blows outside.
Misha looked gratefully at the deer.
My fur will keep me safe while I sleep,
he murmured with relief.
Thank you so much, Denny.
On his way home, Misha remembered Badger Brian, who always fattened up before winter. He decided to visit Brian and ask him about his secret. When he got to Brian's burrow, he found him crunching on his last batch of acorns.
Brian, why are you always eating so much?
Misha asked, curious. Brian laughed.
Oh, Misha, these are my fat reserves. Without them, I couldn't make it through winter. When I'm asleep, my body uses up the fat, and that keeps me alive.
Misha realized he needed to build up his own fat reserves.
Thanks, Brian. I'll go find some more berries and nuts too.
He shouted and ran into the forest to gather the last few treats he'd saved for tougher times. So, before winter, Misha also packed on a nice layer of fat. Fat works like a natural blanket for Misha, keeping him warm when the temperature drops outside. Plus, it serves as an energy reserve because during winter sleep, bears almost don't eat or drink. After a good meal, Misha met Fox Lucy, a true expert in sleeping.
Lucy, what's the trick to sleeping all winter?
He asked, curious. Lucy explained that bears have a special way of falling into a deep sleep, where their bodies go into power-saving mode.
Your heartbeat and breathing slow down, and you don't even need to drink. Your body runs on the fat you've stored up,
explained Lucy, showing him how to curl up tightly to stay safe and warm.
Thank you, Lucy. Now I know how to find the best position for a long winter sleep.
Misha replied, smiling as he headed back home. So, Misha understood why bears go into hibernation during the winter when their bodies switch to energy-saving mode. Their body temperature drops, their heart rate and breathing slow down, and this helps them save energy. That way, they don't have to hunt or wear themselves out. Thinking he was ready, Misha met Beaver Ben, who was great at building dens.
Ben, you're the master of building. What makes the perfect den to stay warm?
Misha asked, hoping to learn something new. Ben showed Misha how to pick a spot sheltered from the wind and line it with soft moss and leaves.
If your den is cozy and dry, it'll keep you warm all winter.
Ben explained, helping Misha adjust his burrow.
Thank you, Ben. My den will be like a castle.
Misha exclaimed, happily examining his newly improved home. He realized that a safe and protected place, like a cave or a den, dug under fallen trees or rocks, keeps him safe from the wind, snow, and other animals. Misha strolled through the forest one last time, checking all his preparations when he met his old friend Denny, the wise deer who taught many forest animals.
Do you feel ready for winter, Misha?
Denny asked.
Yes, Denny. I've learned to gather fat reserves, build a safe den, and even how to sleep all winter.
Misha replied confidently. Denny smiled and nodded.
That's wonderful, Misha. Remember to always trust your instincts and listen to nature. It will always guide you.
Misha bowed.
Thank you, Denny. Nature truly is the best teacher.
He said, feeling prepared to drift off with peace in his heart. And so, after all these adventures, Misha returned to his burrow and curled up in his cozy den, with his fat reserves and all the knowledge he'd gathered over the fall. As he finally closed his eyes, he knew that thanks to his thick fur, fat reserves, winter sleep, snug den, and the wisdom of nature, he would survive winter in comfort and safety.
Good night, Fur Coat, and thank you for everything.
Misha whispered in his sleep. And outside, snow fell gently, covering the forest in a thick white blanket, but Misha slept in a deep winter slumber, his faithful coat keeping him warm in his dreams.